Coming to the common principles in oxygen supply management, we know what is the source, we know how it is supplied, we know how it gets into outlet. So how do you manage this oxygen? We have everything, but we have to manage it wisely. Our goal is to keep the oxygen production more than the demand, accounting for leakages, loss, pressure and flow fluctuations. That is the basic principle. Never advisable to run the facility at 100% oxygen production capacity. Always have backup, always have multiple redundancy systems should be at the facility. Always give a backup of at least 24 hours from collective sources. Coming further, flow charts and flow diagrams should be displayed on every floor wherever patient is situated. Proper signage must be displayed everywhere. Plant room keys, oxygen related equipment should be handled by authorized dedicated staff only. Keys of plant room must be available at multiple trained personnel and everybody should be aware of that for emergency purposes. Timely audit and servicing of the oxygen supply system is mandatory from the authorized personnel. Volume of oxygen required depends on bed matrix. This is a very important, I would say, aspect in this oxygen supply system. The pressure of oxygen required depends on building structure and floors, and this pressure has to be generated to push oxygen against the gravity at multi-storied building. We in Sassoon have 11-storied building which is dedicated only for COVID right now. So this oxygen pressure required to push oxygen against the gravity is very important. So it is advisable to plan high oxygen demand setups like ICUs at lower floors, not higher floors. After speaking so much about technical and mechanical aspects of oxygen special management system, let's see the human aspect of oxygen, that is how to save oxygen. So the general principle in oxygen saving, we'll just enumerate one by one. The saturation of patients who are awake should be maintained up to 95%. For ventilated patients, the saturation could be maintained up to 88 to 92%. Extra oxygen is not required. In fact, extra oxygen can cause more harm than the benefit. SpO2, that is saturation of oxygen, should be monitored at regular intervals so that early weaning can be taken place. HFNO, that is high frequency nasal oxygen, should not be used. It was quite a talk of the town when COVID started to use HFNO, but we have recently observed that HFNO takes lots of oxygen, up to 70 liters per minute, so we cannot afford to use HFNO at this moment. Timely review of oxygen therapy is very must for early weaning. Use of CARP protocol, that COVID alternate repositioning is very important. When you give proning position to patients, I think you save lot of oxygen because you can improve on oxygenation with less amount of oxygen. And use of oxygen concentrator. I think this also is a very common topic now, oxygen concentrator. Whenever any patient is discharged home on oxygen therapy, you can utilize this device because it doesn't require active oxygen. It is electrically produced oxygen from the air. Coming to infrastructure monitoring at human level, team of biomedical engineers and oxygen technicians should be available round the clock to manage oxygen supply system. Oxygen audit committee should be available in any healthcare facility to check the consumption of oxygen per day in any given setup. Daily record of LMO, that is liquid medical oxygen tank level, is must. Count of full and old cylinder is also required to check how much is remaining for your next day supply. Periodic checks for leaks and associated repairs is also very vital. Switch off the oxygen when patient is not using it, especially when patient is going for bath, when patient is going for investigation, when he is eating. Oxygen should not be left unused. Dedicated checklist should be provided in all the wards and ICUs to have minimum and rational use of oxygen. Coming to training, I think this is the most vital part of oxygen saving. Of all the healthcare personalities, doctors and nurses should be given training on optimum use of oxygenation. Awareness is the key. Hands-on training of all oxygen-related gadgets should be given to each healthcare personnel before they appear for their COVID duties. Video conferencing and 24 hours backup should be given to all doctors and nurses while they are on duty regarding the optimum use of oxygen. To all my viewers, I wish you all the oxygen supply in ample amount. May you use it at proper time, judiciously, and you save all your patients who are on oxygen. Thank you very much. Good luck.